Hello, welcome to the end of 2024. This is my December vlog, which is a little bit overdue because I was supposed to do one back in September and now it's way past that. So I'm just going to fire through the few bits and pieces that have been going on for the last 4 months, I think it is. Basically, I've just not felt the need to do a vlog because of cutting the game design stuff down, but I'll get more into that in a little bit. Right, okay, so Future Bevan, this is the stuff you need to remember. So in that time, you've played very few board games. So let's go straight to board gaming then. Wyrmspan you played again. You played a bit of Mechs versus Minions with the kids, and what was the other ones? Oh, 2 games of Cora Quest. So Mechs vs Minions and Cora Quest have been the sort of go-to games with the kids for a little while because they're a little bit more meaty, but they're ones that engage the children. So keep those up, they're quite good. And then the Christmas Advent Calendar during December has been absolutely brilliant. Only one sort of duff puzzle throughout the entire thing, so that's quite good. Yeah, enjoyed the majority of those. As you can see, I'm just sort of getting over a little bit of the winter colds as they always have them in December. Yeah, so a lot of board gaming these last few months. Tell a lie, we did have a board gaming evening with a few friends where we played... Oh, what did we play? There was some fun and games there. Oh, a lot of Skul. Skul was really good, and I think that was about it, really. Yeah, didn't play a lot. So, there we go. Right, so on to video games. So we're doing a lot of extra video games. I don't know if you can see here, but you, during these few months, you've changed around how you're doing things. So you've reduced your board game collection quite a lot. And I say, I've reduced the board game collection quite a lot. You can see you've now got 2 completely free cubbies. That's for some sort of Wii Nintendo Labo stuff that's going to eventually go up there. But I've also gone ahead and turned these 3 cubbies into retro video gaming holders. So we've got our PlayStation here, PlayStation 3 stuff, an Xbox 360. In the middle here we've got Wii and Wii U. And then over right to the side here is PS2, a few PS1s, and a very small selection of PS Vita stuff. So PS Vita was something I got into quite late in the PS Vita cycle. In fact, it was out of use for a long time. But, hey-ho. But in terms of video gaming, it's been a rich 4 months. So we had Metroid Samus Returns at the beginning of the month. Absolutely brilliant Game Boy Advance game. Really enjoyed that one. It tickled all those sort of like exploration sort of nodes in my brain, but also the sort of the act of sort of going forwards, gaining new weapons, gaining new abilities. Really, really good fun. We've also played the God of War Old Man Kratos edition, the one on PS4. So I borrowed that from a friend of mine, must have been about a year ago, and just didn't get round to it. Played the whole game through in like a few weeks. Absolutely brilliant. Great storytelling, great quests, great sort of action scenes, and not super easy as well. Like there was a really good challenge in there as well. So really enjoyed that one. Lilo and Stitch on the Game Boy Advance. So I don't know why I picked this up, to be honest. I think I saw it in like a Game Boy Advance top 10 hidden gems video or something like that. And basically it plays a lot like the old Metal Slug games, but it's Disney and it's a shoot 'em up. Bit of a weird combination, but yeah, really good fun. A Kirby claymation game, I think. Oh, it's there. Kirby and the Rainbow Paintbrush. So I've been playing a little bit of that on the old Wii U. It's all done on the little screen, so I can just sort of sit on my little sofa and play along with the Wii U tablet thing that they've got. I don't need the main telly on, so that's quite nice as a game that I can just sort of sit down and relax with. Nice and simple. You have to draw like little routes for a ball version of Kirby to follow, and then you can like tap him to make him go faster, or you'll have like weird ones where you turn into like a Kirby tank, so you have to tap him and then draw lines to where you want the missiles to go, that kind of thing. Really good fun. We've been playing an awful lot of Lego Batman 2 on the PS3 with my son. So he plays it to sort of, mess around, do all the open world stuff where you can basically do whatever you like. I need like like little targets, little things to achieve. So during the course of the game, you can complete all the little missions, and then there's an open world section where you collect up like gold bricks or red bricks or various different villains and superheroes from the Batman 2 universe. And yeah, it's been really good fun because I can then go off and do my thing, he can do his thing, and we kind of meet up in the middle and do a few bits together. That's been really fun. Pumpkin Jack. So Pumpkin Jack is an indie title that was on the PC on Steam. So I bought it on Steam. I think you can get it on the PS3. The Switch as well. I got it for playing on my ROG, so it's a perfect little handheld device for that sort of thing. Had a couple of issues with the graphics, so I had to up like the amount of power that I was supplying, which meant the battery life of the ROG sort of just tanked. The battery life on that thing is awful. But no, that was really good fun. Nice Halloween-y game, so I think I played that around about October time. So yeah, really enjoyed that one. It's sort of like a platformer, reminding me a lot of the medieval games, so a lot of like sword swinging and things like that. Quite simplistic. You know, I wouldn't call it my game of the year, but for what it was, really good fun. Okay, so the next one was a bit of a weird one for me. It's one called Killzone on the PS Vita. So, as I said, my PS Vita collection is actually really, really small, and it's one that I came to really late in its sort of cycle. Basically, it had been out of use for a long, long time, and I only picked one up to do sort of PS4 remote play, so I could use my PlayStation 4 whilst Gemma was still using the telly. That never really panned out because the connection problems were really bad, and then every so often you get like pixelation and really bad looking graphics, so never really caught on with me. It wasn't the greatest experience for gameplay, but I did go back and acquire a few games for it. So one of them, as I said, was Killzone. Really weird little game. So it's a shoot 'em up ostensibly, but you can also like level up and do things in that. Yeah, it's okay. Not my favourite game. I might go back to it eventually. Robo Recall on the MetaQuest 2. So again, we've been revisiting a lot of my older consoles. The MetaQuest 2 had this fantastic game called Robo Recall, where you got like a couple of guns, and the robots have all gone mad in this sort of futuristic city. So you need to go out and pew them all. Gone back and played a few rounds of that. Really good fun. I really forgot how good that was. And then the last one has been mostly a game called Ni No Kuni II. So I picked this up during a Steam sale. Must have been 2 years ago. Really, really cheap, and I never really got round to it, mostly because it was a very long game, and I thought I just haven't got the time to commit to it. The ROG, however, has been an absolute lifesaver in that aspect, because with a high enough power output, the ROG can play Ni No Kuni 2 absolutely fantastically, and just sort of been playing through it. It's one of my it's like a tick box game basically, so it's like an RPG where you do a lot of action fighting rather than selecting from menus fighting, which is really, really good. It's perfectly in my wheelhouse. But this is sort of interspersed with a lot of like fetch quests, which are classic JRPG kind of things. These weird kind of chibi battle scenes where you get like an army of 4 little squads, and they're like tic-tac-toe, where you've got like spears beat swords, I think it is, or something like that. And then swords beat hammers, hammers beat spears, spears beat swords, and you've got to like pick the right units for each sort of fight that you go into in each battle, and you've got to clear out a bunch of monsters. And there was a third mechanic. Oh yes, building a city. So you're also rebuilding this kingdom. So you start off as this little king dude who's been kicked out of his own kingdom by a coup. What you decide to do then is rebuild your own kingdom. So you then start building this thing up in the middle of this place that's apparently a barren land, and gaining new followers, and then you sort of this mechanics where you sort of build up and build up and build up. It's really good fun. I can understand some of the criticism that was levelled at it with the whole like it's kind of samey and all the quests are fetch quests. Essentially, that's what they boil down to. You go fight something or you go and find something. Either way, I've really been enjoying it. As I said, it's like a nice tick box game, which I quite like. You know, you've got like, this is my list of quests I need to do. I need to go and do them, blah, blah, blah. So do them in order, get my XP, get my equipment, get my items, get my new personnel that can then come and inhabit my city. And that's been taking up most of my time. So that's all the game stuff. So let's go on to game design, which is a nice, quick and easy one. I've done nothing. I've been attending the Wednesday night playtest group that I usually do. But I'll be perfectly honest, that has been enough for now. I just don't feel any need to go back and do any more game design, and I don't know what's going on. So I don't know if it sort of shows, but there's a whole row of boxes up there. I don't know what to do with them. All these boxes contain like old prototypes or components, things like that. I'm just not sure I want to go back to it. I'll be perfectly honest. I hit a wall a few months ago where I just thought, I'm not enjoying this anymore. The need to produce something that other people will play has gone out of me. Like, I've got no more will for it, essentially. And yeah, I just don't know. I don't know if I'll ever go back to it, but we shall see. Game design took up a lot of my time, and by the end of it, I felt like it was just taking my time, not giving me enjoyment. So yeah, we shall see. Right, so books. I read a Dean Koontz book about an alien boy who has to sort of help out, or is escaping from some other aliens. Very, very strange. I can't remember the name of it. Was okay, but it took forever. Dean Koontz, for some reason, takes forever to get to the point, and that kind of bored the crap out of me. And then just some proofreading of my wife's book, so I can't mention what those are, but again, they were fantastic. Little bit of proofreading. Keeps me in her good books. So on to the last little bit then, is review of my New Year's resolutions for 2024, and did I achieve them? So the top one was 10 game design pages. No, I did not. So I switched focus, as I said, towards the last sort of quarter of the year to going through consuming media, essentially. I have games, I have video games, I have movies and things I wanted to watch, and I was getting to none of it because I was, feeling like, well, I can't do that because I need to do these game design things. So it's been really nice to sort of switch over to those instead. So it's basically no, I haven't achieved that one because I just didn't feel like it was a good use of my time anymore, which is a bit of a shame. But there you go. The next one was complete a project with my new soldering skills. So number 2 I did achieve quite early on in the year, actually. So I restored some Game Boy Advances, and that involved some soldering as well, where I had to attach the controller wires into these Game Boy Advances so then I could sort of adjust things like the screen colours, the brightness levels, that kind of thing. And that was really, really good fun. I did a couple for the kids. My son absolutely loved it. My daughter was like, I really want one. I'll help you choose all the shells and things, and then never play with it again. But that's absolutely fine. It was a good learning experience for me, and I got to sort of do a bit of bonding with my family through her choosing aesthetically pleasing devices like shells and buttons and stuff. Oh, and then I also used my son's new one to then play through Symphony of the Night from Castlevania all the way through again, because it was just perfection. Beautiful game. Loved it. And then the last one was reduce spending. So that one was done. So I had a set of targets that I wanted to achieve in terms of spending less on board games, less on video games, and less on Kickstarters. And I achieved all 3 to hit gold on all 3 of those. I did pick up quite a few games in terms of bundles because I was picking up consoles. They just happened to come with a bunch of games, so I didn't count those. I only counted sort of new games or retro games with a higher value. So let's say I went into a charity shop and paid £2 for Wario Land. That wouldn't have counted because it was just a charity shop find. It was part of £2. Not going to worry too much about that. If it was, say, a £30 game for the Wii U, that would have counted. But I hit all 3 of my targets on that one, which then tied into a stretch goal that I set myself of saving some cash. So I've managed to hit my saving goals for this year as well. So in terms of money and enjoying myself, perfect. Done a great job. And that's basically it. So I'm just going to put the phone down now. That was 2024 in a nutshell for the last sort of 4 months. It's been nice to not have to stress myself out about game design. I don't know if I'll continue these vlogs then into 2025 as I have less to say in terms of game design. And to be perfectly honest, this was more a record for me. And I don't know. As I've reached, this is my 40th year going around this planet, and I felt more and more that I don't have to do things just because I feel like I have to do them. I like video games. I like some of the hobbies I've collected over the years, and some of them I've just not gone back to because game design kind of consumed them majority of the time. They got put on a back burner purely because I felt like if I had free time, I had to spend it doing game design, whether it was putting new cards together, writing new rules, a sell sheet, during the Haunted Culture Kickstarter, revamping all of our graphics. And whilst it was okay at the time and interesting and maybe kind of fun, afterwards I just didn't feel the need to go back to it. So yeah, that's been my 2024, is realising that maybe game design is no longer for me. We're still going to be there at the 2025 UK Games Expo show, because that's going to be great, but we'll figure out what's going to happen after that in terms of whether I carry it on, go back to it, or just call it a day and say, nope, I'm just going to go consume media, enjoy the things that I've got for now. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys have had an interesting and awesome 2024. The Christmas season obviously is causing all sorts of chaos. I'm recording this in the Betwixtmas season, so that's been quite a nice use of my time. And yeah, not really a lot else to say. So I'll just say goodbye. Hope 2025 is cool, and maybe in January we will have a New Year's resolutions that don't involve game design. Okay, cheers now. Bye.